Many of you will be familiar with a TomTom, one of those satellite navigation systems that once you've typed in the destination, it tells you every turn you need to take as you go along. I well remember the first time I was in a car equipped with one of these. I was absolutely fascinated, and sometimes I wish I had one, especially when I'm stuck in a maze of one-way streets in the city. Signposts and directions are necessary, especially when you're lost, and not only when you're trying to get from A to B, but also on the journey of life. A study of Native Americans a good number of years ago showed that now that their totems, and their TomToms for that matter, are sitting in antique shops, and that they've largely abandoned their rituals and symbols, so many of them have become involved in the soulless business of running casinos and seem to have an extraordinary incidence of alcohol abuse. So one wonders, having lost their traditions, have they also lost part of their soul? Closer to home, we are struck and horrified by the unprecedented levels of mindless violence, of substance abuse, of the rate of suicide among the young, of an attitude of anything goes. And one wonders, while sociologists and psychologists, I'm sure, have a lot to say about it, is there not also a truth in the fact that once a society throws God out more and more, it can so easily become rudderless, and people start looking for meaning in their lives in places that lead to nowhere? We hear in the Gospel today that even the disciples of Jesus felt lost and overwhelmed. Lord, how do we know the way? And Jesus says to them, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And he says the same to us today. But what does it mean? He doesn't give us a handbook with easy answers. He doesn't give us a map with clear routes. We are left the freedom to plot our journey ourselves, just as the disciples had to work out for themselves what the way forward would be. Notice that Jesus doesn't say, I know the way, or I have the way, or here is the way. He says, I am the way. So to get clear pointers for ourselves regarding the way ahead, we have to look at the person of Jesus, to his life, and how he did things. And what do we see? Through his way of being present to even the lowliest of people, he affirmed their value and dignity. Through his caring and healing touch, he gave them hope. Through his unconditional love and forgiveness, he let them know that they are lovable despite their self-doubt. So if we try to live these core values, we not only are life-giving to the people around us, but we in turn are affirmed and enlivened. And of course, it doesn't happen just like that. It's a lifelong challenge. But I do believe that when we regularly listen to God's word, when we come together to celebrate God's love for us, and when we support one another as a faith community, we are graced and strengthened to help us struggle through the messiness of life. God doesn't just zap our worries away. God doesn't do magic. But He is with us on the way to truth, on the way to solid ground, on the way to new life. And perhaps in that light we might reread the opening lines of today's Gospel. Do not let your hearts be troubled, because I am with you. I love you more than you can imagine. And I will send you my Spirit of strength and courage to live within you. So hang in there.